I think 2022 is arguably my worst year on this YouTube platform, and not only from a personal effort and motivation standpoint, but as far as community growth as well. I have, without a doubt, hit the hardest level of stagnancy I've ever seen since beginning this journey. Every obstacle I've faced along the way up to this point hasn't really bothered me as much as it has in this past year, and I think I know why, but I'll talk later on it in the video. I've never been one for excuses, so I won't begin now, but between the loss of a lot of opportunities due to the effects on society from going pandemic and me just never really bouncing back from that, and a personal hardship that grossly overshadowed my will to even create at all, let me help you understand why I'm saying what I'm saying about my past year on YouTube, and I hope you're ready to listen because I'm ready to talk about it. Rare nowadays will you find someone that wants to remember the year 2020 on purpose. For many people, they just want to forget everything that happened that year. The world just changed in such a significant way, and we likely will never return to the way we were prior to it. Much of the same can be said about 2021, as many of those new changes were just carried over. This naturally just led people to believe that 2022 would just be a repeat of the previous 2 years and to just not expect good things at all. But it was a little different for me. You see, there were some things that I had actually accomplished in both of those years that seemed to kind of keep me on a life high, so to speak. So despite all the things that were going on around me, I was able to still feel real good going into 2022. So the aforementioned life high that I claimed having began for me ringing in my new year and finally visiting New York City going into January 2020. Accomplishing that held me throughout the year enough to feel good going into 2021. And keeping with the good feels, in 2021, I had my best and most successful year here on YouTube. There was absolutely no reason that I could see for me to feel the slightest bit apprehensive about 2022 at all. In fact, I was so confident at the beginning of the year that I even took a longer than usual break from creating to maintain mental health. It would be about 3 weeks before I even uploaded my first video of this new year. Of course, many would say that being away for so long while your channel is doing so well is not the wisest of decisions, and they're right, because the video did not do well at all. And I mean well according to the performance of my channel. I shouldn't have let it, but the lackluster performance of that particular video, the first of the new season, the kickoff to 2022, led me to taking yet another full month away from YouTube. And I wouldn't release my second video of the year until February 14th. And by the 1st of March, I'd only released 5 videos for this channel. Just 5, with only 2 performing to standard. For reference, in 2017, when I got serious about YouTube, I released 26 videos total for the year. In the following year, 2018, I dropped down to half of that because that was the year I took to learn video and audio and cinematography, and I just wanted to be a better filmmaker and video maker. In 2019, however, I bounced right back with 57 total videos, and in 2020, even better at 65 videos. And in 2021, an astounding 91 videos, equivalent to nearly 2 videos per week all year long. That doesn't even include live streams and trailers. But sadly, in 2022, I dropped back down to 74 uploads, which isn't terrible, but full transparency, the vast majority of those videos have not performed as well as the performance of my videos in 2021. And it's not even close. So as my impressions slowed down, well, so did my views and ultimately my revenue, which really added to the hardships I spoke about earlier. So even with my finances closing in on me and me downsizing my life significantly to accommodate, I soldiered on through the summer and things kind of picked up a little bit, with May through August highlighting this whole year. Not only did I get to travel a little more and make content about a lot of it, and as a result gave the channel a slight uptick, but I hosted my first ever meetup open to the whole community of this network. And this by far made my summer. Seeing fresh new faces and making new friends, all while having a really amazing and memorable fucking time, that came perfectly after the last couple years. So after some strong considerations in my personal life, and honestly against my desires, I've decided to return to traditional work. And since this does mean that I'll likely have less time to make content, I know that it will inevitably lead to a temporary decline in my videos' quality and the frequency schedule. I do this because I have to and I need to. However, I also see this as an opportunity to step back, maybe reassess my approach to video and content creating. Instead of feeling the pressure to constantly churn out videos, I'll have the space and time to really think about what I want to create and how I want to present it. As a silver lining, that's what not depending on YouTube revenue grants me. And that kind of does make me happy. In the long run, I feel like any changes made will ultimately be beneficial for the channel. I'll be able to approach content creating with more intention and care instead of feeling like I got to constantly churn out videos just to meet some kind of quota. And usually around this time, I'll be making an end of the year wrap-up type of video, but you know, fuck it. So while it might be a bit of a rough patch in the short term, I'm confident that refocusing my efforts will lead to a stronger and more sustainable channel in the long run. And no, it doesn't mean that things will just suddenly turn a 180 for the better right now. No way. This very video will likely not be distributed and viewed the way I'd like it to be, but I'm only working on the things that I have control of. YouTube and Big Al G Rhythm will still punish me hard for turning away from what it has me bound into. But it can't stay that way forever. My luck is bound to kick in at some point.